Hi, this is Dr. Heidi Grant, and welcome to our first episode of 3 Things to Do. Today's topic is coping with uncertainty. And we're actually filming this during the COVID-19 pandemic. I'd say most of us have a lot more uncertainty in our lives than we've ever had before. But even before that, there's been more uncertainty that we human beings have been dealing on a day-to-day basis, just in the work we do, than ever before in human history. In fact, your brain didn't actually evolve to handle this kind of constant uncertainty. It's a hunter-gatherer brain. It evolved to be able to do basic prediction of the immediate future in an environment that really didn't change very much. Yes, our brains can handle unpredicted threats and we can handle a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of challenge, but we weren't really designed to handle as much of it as all of us are having to deal with. So it helps to have some science-based strategies to help you be a little bit more effective in managing how it feels to deal with uncertainty. Because uncertainty is very, very hard on the brain. It can shrink your working memory, it can cause lots of anxiety, and over time it can even cause feelings of depression and helplessness. So how can you keep that from happening? Well, the first thing to do is to try to focus on the now rather than the future. What generally is true is that the further we think about the future, the more uncertainty there is, right? When you're thinking 6 months, a year, 5 years down the road, there's a lot of unknowns, and that's going to increase the sense of uncertainty. So instead, try to focus on the here and now, on what you're doing this week, this month. You're going to have more certainty about that. You're going to have more ability to predict what's going to happen, and that's going to increase your sense of certainty and bring down that anxiety. The second thing you should do is think about places where you have more certainty and create that sense of certainty for yourself. So for example, I'm a public speaker, right? I travel all around the country doing lots of keynotes, but during COVID-19, I'm stuck at home just like everyone else. So what did I do instead? I created this show, right? As a way for me to still be able to communicate with people about the benefits of science in their everyday lives. So think about ways that you can create some certainty and some control for yourself by pursuing your own goals in different ways. And another thing to think about is pursuing different goals, right? So if I don't have a lot of certainty about my professional life right now, maybe this is a good time to really dig into some of my personal goals, maybe doing a lot of spring cleaning or home repair. That can help restore your sense of certainty as well. And the last thing I'll say is, be really careful when you're feeling a lot of uncertainty in your life about temptation. On a regular day, it's hard for us all to resist the temptation of, say, the donut that happens to be sitting on the counter, or the temptation to call up your ex, perhaps who you haven't seen in a while, especially if you're feeling a little lonely because you're trapped in your house. That's all pretty understandable. Like I said, on a good day, resisting those sorts of temptations can be hard. But know that when you're feeling a lot of uncertainty, it's going to be even harder. There's recent research that came from out of the University of Pennsylvania showing that when people feel a lot of uncertainty, they tend to focus more on wants than on shoulds, right? They're focusing on the things that they desire rather than the things they know are good for them. So that resisting temptation issue is going to be an even bigger problem if you or the people around you are experiencing a lot of uncertainty. The best way to deal with temptation is to remove it from the situation, right? If you don't want to overeat, don't have really tempting foods in your house. If you don't want to call up your ex, delete their number from your phone, right? Do what you can to make it so that temptation isn't even an issue, and you'll be much more successful. So let's go over those 3 things to do again. The first is try to focus on the here and now rather than the far future, because the here and now will give you more certainty. The second is focus on things you can do where you do have more certainty and control, and that's going to help restore your overall sense of certainty. And the third thing is do what you can to remove temptation, because when that uncertainty is happening, you're very likely to let the donut win. Don't let the donut win. So tune in next time to hear me talk a little bit about how we can control our emotions during difficult times. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to subscribe to our newsletter on my website, HeidiGrantPhD.com, or follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.